The worst thing that can happen might be getting exactly what you want. What if $10 million hit your account right now? You think freedom, calm, options. Actually, the numbers and the Stoics say, desire scales faster than discipline. Today, let's simulate the next 30 days. Rules clear, quick math, social committees, a human cataclysm if you let appetite steer. And then the Stoic turn with a simple protocol that saves you from your own jackpot. Premises and limits. You are you. Same habits, same friends, same brain chemistry. The deposit posts today. Taxes exist. Banks hold unusually large transfers. Lawyers smell opportunity. Family has opinions. You control what you disclose, what you buy, your information diet, your schedule, your virtues. You don't control markets, gossip, relatives' feelings, past mistakes, the internet's attention span. We hold those boundaries on screen like a control meter. Internal, 0, 100%. Back of the envelope money math. 10 million before tax could be 6 to 7 million after, depending on jurisdiction. A conservative 4% real draw gives you about 240 to 280 Ks per year. Sounds huge. But if lifestyle jumps to 100K per month, homes, cars, just this one trip, that's $1.2 million per year, and your principal halves in roughly 6 years. Desire is a compounding rate. It rarely reverts to the mean by itself. Back of the envelope attention math. V and QA. Inbound demands, Q divided by the fixed area of your attention. A determines stress velocity. Pre-windfall, you fielded 60 messages per day. Post-windfall, assume 10x for a week. Old classmates, opportunities, fundraisers, investment pitches. 600 messages. Your 3 focused hours. A. 200 per focus hour. That's cavitation of attention. Your pressure drops, bubbles of panic form, and judgment erodes. The social legal committees convene. The Revenue Service Committee wants documents. The Bank Compliance Board freezes the transfer pending review. The Family Council on Sudden Wealth schedules an emergency dinner. The Neighborhood Zoning Subcommittee of Envy meets in group chats. Your DMs become the International Commission on Just a Small Favor. All of them draft you into their agenda. None of them increase your control. Day 1. The sensory flood. Your phone buzzes like a trapped insect. Your inbox feels hot to the touch. A cousin you haven't spoken to in 5 years sends a voice note starting with, "I'm so proud of you." A broker you don't know promises 14% safe returns. You picture a bigger home and can almost smell the leather. Your pulse is up. Your breathing is shallow. Your cursor hovers over buy. This is the moment desire eclipses deliberation. Days 2 to 7. The invisible costs. Security consults, insurance upgrades, tax retainers, urgent meetings. Each hour of administrative swirl displaces an hour of sleep, reading, exercise, your inner citadel. Friends split into camps, celebratory, resentful, transactional. You taste the metal of suspicion in your mouth. Social media amplifies it. 1,000 micro-judgments, 1,000 temptations. Every click is a promise that something external can tidy your internal mess. Day 30 without a plan. The cataclysm. Purchases proliferate, commitments multiply, boundaries dissolve. The burn rate goes opaque. You start hiding statements, rationalizing investments, avoiding honest conversations. Resentment blossoms in people you care about. You numb with novelty. The money did not ruin you. Your unmanaged wants did. The Stoics would call it being conquered by externals, the heaviest loss of all. Pause. What do the Stoics actually say? You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus whispers. Epictetus sharpens it. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Seneca adds the stab. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. The money is indifferent. Your judgments about it are not. Translate that into a design principle. Treat the windfall as a pressure test of the 4 virtues. Wisdom decides cadence and counsel. Temperance governs consumption and attention. Justice allocates fairly to obligations and others. Courage faces envy, says no, and tells the truth. Your aim is not to beat the market. Your aim is to prevent desire from beating you. Before the protocol, a final calculation. Requests. If you know 500 people lightly and 5% make an ask, that's 25 requests. If the median small favor is $10,000, that's $250,000 in week 1 exposure, not counting the psychic cost of saying no 25 times. Each no without a framework corrodes a relationship by an inch. Each yes without criteria corrodes your self-respect by the same inch. Multiply by time, and you see the erosion. The 30-Day Stoic Protocol for Sudden Wealth Part 1, Day 02. The freeze. You enact a 30-day moratorium on any purchase above a modest threshold, say $1,000. No exceptions, no shame, no emergency upgrade. You park the funds in a boring, insured, segregated account. You tell exactly 3 people, a lawyer, a fiduciary planner, and 1 dispassionate friend. You write a 1-page statement. What you control, what you don't, what you value. You print it. You read it morning and night. Part 2, Days 3-7. The 3-fund frame. You pre-commit allocations with percentages, not dollar fantasies. Safety, 50-70% for boring stability. Freedom, 20-40% for future income and learning. Good, 5-10% for justice. Debts, obligations, and quiet generosity. You define criteria for each. Safety is low cost, diversified, liquid. Freedom funds skills, time, and optionality, not trinkets. Good is anonymous when possible, fair when necessary. You appoint a no officer, someone empowered to say no on your behalf per the written criteria. Part the 3rd, Days 8-14. The information diet. You block headlines and comment feeds, replacing them with 2 hours of deliberate reading a day. 1 timeless book, 1 handbook on decision-making. You keep a desire log. Each time you want to buy, you write the want, the why, the feeling in your body, and a 72-hour review date. You practice voluntary discomfort twice, cook at home, take a cold walk, wear the same clothes. You remind yourself that if a shirt can't make you virtuous, it can't make you happy. Part 4, Days 15-21. The justice and courage turn. You list obligations you have delayed, debts to repay, apologies owed, promises to honor. You do 1 each day. You have 3 courageous conversations, 1 with family about boundaries, 1 with a friend about expectations, 1 with yourself about envy, yours and others. You set a firm policy for requests, a simple form, a monthly review, a capped budget. Policy turns chaotic no's into principled not yets and here's what I can do. Part 5, Days 22-30, the wisdom cadence. You meet 2 advisors in 1-hour sessions, a fiduciary who earns only from you, and a therapist or coach who helps with meaning, not toys. You rehearse loss mentally once, premeditatio malorum. If the market halves, if friends leave, if you make a mistake, what remains in your control? You test 1 small purchase after a 30-day cool-off, then measure regret 24 hours later. You schedule poverty practice for a day, simple food, no spending, to prove to yourself that the floor is firm. Throughout these 30 days, you keep a medallion in your pocket, literal or mental, with 2 sides. One says control, mind, choices, virtues. The other says indifferent, money, praise, luxury. You flip it when your phone buzzes, when your cart fills, when someone says, "Come on, live a little." You remind yourself that living a lot means being fully alive to your own agency, not anesthetized by options. And here is the quiet punchline. You don't need 10 million to train this. You need a timer and a page. If the windfall comes, you'll be ready. If it never does, you will already be rich in the only currency that compounds without envy: character. Next, we're simulating what happens if the internet turns on you overnight. What if you got canceled tomorrow, and how not to break in the first 24 hours? Until then, tell me, what's your biggest what if that scares you, and do you want to run it together?